Now, some more pi. How would you find the area of a circle? A circle is a pretty strange shape. The only shape you can really work out the area of is a rectangle or a square, which is a type of rectangle. And you really can't change a circle into a square very easily, can you? So we need to start with a straight side. Let's start with the radius. So the radius is the length from the centre to the edge of the circle. Let's call it r. Now that's just a length, so that's no good for an area. Now to change a length into an area, we need to multiply it by something. Length times the width. So let's take another radius. Now this could form two sides of a square. R times r. So that area there, the area of that square, would be r squared. Now we're getting closer. That's an area, but clearly it's too small. How many of those squares would fit into the area of the circle? How many times would r squared fit into the area of the circle? Well, it looks like about 4 times, doesn't it? So if we do this, we can see we get 4 of those. But what's wrong with that? Well, clearly that's too big. So an area of 4 r squared is too large. In fact, it's about 3 r squared. The area of a circle is approximately 3 times the square of the radius, 3 times r squared, that area there. But that's a little bit too small. As you probably know, or probably guessed, it's actually pi times r squared. Pi is 3 and a bit, 3.1415926, etc., etc. So the area of a circle is exactly pi times r squared. Area equals pi r squared. So here's a circle with radius 7 meters. The area is going to equal pi r squared. Pi times 7 squared. Pi times 49. So ask the calculator. Pi times 49 equals 153.93804. That would round off to about 154 meters squared to 3 significant figures. Right, here's another one. We want to work out the area of the circle. Area equals pi r squared. So that's pi times the radius squared. Now here we have the diameter of 18, so the radius must be 9. So it's pi times 9 squared, or pi times 81. Ask the calculator, and it says 254.469. So that rounds off to 254 centimeters squared to 3 significant figures. Right, here's a couple of questions for you to try. Work out the area of each of these circles. Write down the formula each time and show you're working properly. Remember the units on the end and round it off to 3 significant figures. Okay, off you go. Right, answers. So number 1, the area equals pi r squared. Pi times the radius squared. So that's pi times 5 squared, or pi times 25, equals, so we ask the calculator, and it says 78.539. So that rounds off to 78.5 meters squared to 3 significant figures. Right, number 2, again, the same formula. The area equals pi r squared. So that's pi times 13 squared. The radius is half the diameter at 13 meters. So that's going to be 169 pi. 169 times pi equals, calculator says 530.929. So that rounds to 531 meters squared to 3 significant figures. Right, a couple more questions for you to try. This time we have a semicircle and a quadrant. We want to work out the area. Okay, so number 3, the area equals pi r squared divided by 2. Pi r squared over 2, which is pi times 4 squared over 2, which comes to 25.132. That's 25.1 centimeters squared to 3 significant figures. Now, number 4, a quadrant. That's a quarter of a circle. The area equals pi r squared over 4. That's pi times 9 squared over 4. And that comes to 63.6 meters squared to 3 significant figures. Now, how would you try a question like this? Here we have a rectangle and a semicircle joined together. Do it all in one go. Make a nice big proper expression. You would say the area equals the base times the height, that's the rectangle, plus pi r squared over 2, that's the area of the semicircle. So that's going to be, oh, we need a length here, don't we? Let's make that, say, 15 meters. So that's going to be 15 times 12 for the rectangle, plus pi times the radius, 6 squared over 2. So you can type that into your calculator all in one go. 15 times 12 plus pi times, I'm going to say 36 divided by 2. That says 236.548. 236.548. It's always a good idea to try these things twice in your calculator. So let's do it another way. Let's say 36 times pi divided by 2, and then I'm going to add 15 times 12, just to check. Yes, it still comes to 236.548, so we can write that as 237 meters squared, 3 significant figures. Right, download the worksheet and give it a go.